Hello arty people! Today I wanted to share with you the children's books that I have self-published. I first got the idea to make a children's book when I was working as a teaching assistant in a primary school in a Year 1 class, and I would read book after book to these kids, some good and some not so good, and one day it just struck me that a children's picture book is just text on top of a drawing or a painting, and I thought I could do that. I've never considered myself as much of a writer, but I thought I could give a children's book a go. My first book is called If I Lived There, and it's a simple story of a girl dreaming about living in various places and weighing up the pros and cons of each place. I don't remember where I got the idea for this story. This was about 5 years ago, but I know that I did ask some of the kids in the class for their input. So I'd ask them, hey, what would be a good thing about living in Antarctica? What would be bad about it? And they were young enough to not wonder why I was asking these random questions, so they gave me some good ideas for some of the pages. So once I had the story, then I needed to do the artwork. I started by making thumbnail sketches of what I wanted each page to look like. I played around with the character design and different colours to use. And then I produced the final images, working with watercolours and colour pencils. Then I scanned the images and used InDesign to add the text. I printed the very first copy on Snapfish and just made it like a photo book. But then I researched self-publishing and came across CreateSpace, which is run by Amazon. In the last couple of years it's become Kindle Direct Publishing, and I don't know if it's any different to CreateSpace, but that's the only thing I have experience with. To self-publish a book in CreateSpace, you make a PDF of the internal pages and another one for the outside covers. Then you upload them, they approve the book, and then you're ready to put it on different selling platforms, including Amazon itself. You don't have to pay to have it on there, but they do take a percentage of the sale, which is fair. You also have the option of ordering your own copies from CreateSpace. I don't know if it's still like this, but when ordering copies from CreateSpace, they come from America, so you have to pay quite a lot for shipping for that. What I found was if you order your copies directly from Amazon, they're printed in your country, so they come a lot quicker and a lot cheaper. And you get some of the money back in royalties depending on how much you listed it for. Making that first book was really exciting, and it was great to have my artwork as something physical that I could hold and show people. So later that year I decided to make a second book, and that was Louisiana, Ludgate and the Lollipops. This one's about a girl who loves lollipops, has a bad time at the dentist, and then realises that healthy food isn't all that bad. For some reason, I decided to make this a rhyming book, which came with its own challenges, because I was happy to have some almost rhymes in there, but my mum, who was a teacher at the time, said I should probably use proper, accurate rhymes if it's for children, so it took me a little bit longer to write. Then I went through the same process to make it as the first book. So then I was kind of done with making children's books. I'd got it out of my system, and I'd moved on to working in a secondary school, so I didn't have that inspiration around me all the time. And I never made that much money from the books, they were just a fun thing to say that I'd done. And then I met my now husband, who is a primary teacher, and at some point we decided to make a book together. He would write it and I would illustrate it, and that became the Toot Fairy. Yes, it's a book about a fairy who makes you toot. We actually have a video of my husband reading the whole thing, complete with sound effects, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link below. When it was done, my husband read the book to all the kids in his school, and they really enjoyed it, and we even got a few orders through that. And then my final book is a colouring book. A Christmas colouring book, because I love Christmas, so I really enjoyed coming up with the drawings for this. The pages of the books I get through CreateSpace are matte, so they're perfect for colouring on. As well as straight up colouring pages, I also added some activity pages, like designing your own Christmas jumper, designing your own snow globe. I thought kids might find that really fun. I know I would. As well as on Amazon, I also sell copies of my books whenever I do craft fairs. My dad helped me make this stand to display them on, which stops them from taking up too much space on the stall. I always have this sign which includes a photo of myself, because people don't always realise that I made the books myself, so I like to make that clear. Selling the books in person means I can create little gift bundles, like with the Christmas colouring book. I made a pack that had some colouring pencils and some stickers that I'd made of some of the images in the book. And with my first book, I made a felt doll of the main character to sell alongside it, and they were really popular. So that's all my books. They are still all available on Amazon, so I will link them in the description below. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about my books and how I made them, and I'd love to hear if you have any experience with self-publishing. And if you have any tips on marketing your books, because I could do with some help on that. Thanks for watching, bye!